Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs Show, where we empower entrepreneurs to overcome the challenge of work-life balance, burnout, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host, Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is you're one decision away from a completely different entrepreneurial life. I think so many times or so often in our entrepreneurial life, we don't develop, we don't improve our life, we don't change, we don't take responsibility because we don't make one powerful decision, because we don't make decisions that would change our life, that would change our healthy life, our fitness life, our business life. And when you don't make powerful, big decisions in your life, you repeat the same life. You live with the same thoughts, with the same feelings. You live with the same habits, with the same routines, with the same behaviors. You maintain the same performance. You maintain the same level in your business. You remain stuck, stagnant in your business, in your entrepreneurial life, in your relationships, in your network, in your work. But when we make big, great, powerful decisions, they can transform our life. They can transform the way we live our life, our entrepreneurial life. They can change our health. We can become much more healthier than we think. We can become much more faster in growing and building our businesses. We can improve our fitness life. We can improve our business life. We can improve our relationships. We can reach much higher levels in our entrepreneurial life. We're just one decision away from making this happen. We are just small decisions away from transforming our entrepreneurial life, our business, our relationships, our healthy life, our fitness life. So decisions are powerful, and I have experienced the power of making decisions, because I remember when I used to be my old version, my old self, and I was living a terrible, unhealthy, negative, and depressed life. But after I realized that if I make decisions, like great big decisions in my life, I know I will experience a different life. I know I will feel differently. I will think differently. I will experience good, positive things happening in my own entrepreneurial life. I will change everything drastically in my life. I'm just one decision away. I'm just small decisions away from transforming my own life. And I feel so blessed. I feel so happy, so grateful from that day that I made those decisions. And those decisions, they still helping me maintain a happy, healthy, successful life, and even a successful fitness life. So we don't realize how making decisions, how powerful they are, because decisions are the first steps of your entrepreneurial life. Once you make decisions, once you decide that I am no longer living the same life, I am no longer staying or remaining stuck in my relationships, in my family, in my business, in my entrepreneurial life in general, that I am going to work very hard on my habits, on my routines, and improve my healthy life, improve my fitness life, improve my business life. So those decisions will lead to big wins in the future. Those decisions will lead to big achievements, accomplishments in your entrepreneurial life in the future. Those decisions will lead you to make your dreams come true. And you'll be so happy, so grateful, so thankful that you made those decisions. Because if you had not made those decisions that you're going to make, you wouldn't end up in where you are. You wouldn't achieve those goals, make those dreams come true. Because high successful people, they made decisions. So that's why they achieved very big goals in their future. So in this episode, I am going to talk about this topic, and I'm going to explain to you how powerful making decisions are, and how some decisions that I made in my own personal entrepreneurial journey that transformed my entrepreneurial life, that transformed my fitness life, that transformed my healthy life, that transformed my business life. So those decisions, they changed my life. They transformed my own entrepreneurial life. And that's why it's very important that we make decisions in our daily life so we can experience a different life. So, why making decisions are very important? You see, when we live a lifestyle that is not leading us to become successful in our entrepreneurial life, when we live a lifestyle that is not healthy, that is not very productive, that is not focused, when we are not protecting our time, our energy, our effort, our productivity, our focus, we end up living a random life. We don't know what we are doing, where will we end up, and we follow a different path. We follow a wrong direction in our entrepreneurial life, and we don't put ourselves on the track or on path toward success. But making decisions will put you on the right trajectory toward those goals, toward those dreams. Because once you make decisions, that's it. You are going to change your life. That you're going to change the way you work, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you treat others, the way you have built your relationships with others. You're going to enhance, improve your relationships. Once you make decision, that means you're not doing exactly the same just like you used to. That you're going to be different, that you're going to change, that you're going to make a difference in your own entrepreneurial life. Because if you don't make decisions, you will end up in the same place where you are. You will repeat the same cycle. You will repeat the same year. You will live exactly the same way. You will think the same way. You will feel the same way. And you will remain stuck in your life. But when you make decision and that you are no longer going back to your old self or to your old version, or that you're no longer going to do exactly the same way that you used to, that's it. You made a decision. You signed a contract with yourself that from now on, I am going to open a new page in my own entrepreneurial life, that I am going to live a different lifestyle, that I am not going to repeat the same habits, the same behaviors, the same routines, the same thoughts, the same feelings that always seems like lead you to the same life, to the same reality. But once you make decisions, that from now on, I'm gonna work differently, I'm gonna think differently, I'm gonna feel differently, I'm gonna treat everyone differently, that I am going to focus on my future, that I am going to protect my time, my energy, my productivity, my focus from distractions, from anything or anyone that would prevent me from reaching those goals, from transforming my own entrepreneurial life. The problem is when we don't make decisions, we remain stuck. We feel stagnation in our life. Why? Because you haven't made a decision. You haven't decided on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. It doesn't matter in business or relationships or performance or fitness life. So decisions are awesome. Decisions are incredible. Decisions will lead you to where you're supposed to be. Decision will transform your entrepreneurial life. Decisions will transform the way you eat, the way you train, the way you work, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you move your body, the way you work, the way you follow your goals, your passions, your dreams. So decisions are incredible. Decisions make you take an inventory of your life. Decisions make you take responsibility over your own life. Decisions will remove so many bad habits, so many distractions, so many behaviors that you used to do, that you used to repeat, that you used to embrace. And when you make decisions, you stay off from this. You remove so many things from your life that aren't serving you, that aren't making you a happy, healthy person. So decisions are awesome. And when you make decision, it's very important that you stay honest with yourself, that you stay consistent with your decision. Once you make decision, that's it. You should not do the same that you used to do. But when you make decision, that's it. You decided on living a different lifestyle. You decided to living on a different life and different entrepreneurial life. So I learned from my own personal experience that once I make decision, just like Michael Jordan said it well. He said, once I make a decision, that means I am no longer going back from my decision. Because once I make decision, that's it. I am going to stay with my decision. I will not change my decision. I will be different. I will do different. I will become different. So I learned this from Michael Jordan quote, and this is a powerful quote, and I applied his quote into my own entrepreneurial life, because I found out that so many times we repeat same thoughts, same feelings, same emotions. We repeat same habits, same behaviors, same routines, same way of thinking, same way of feeling, because we haven't made the decisions. But when you make a decision, it becomes real. It becomes very clear to you. It becomes very obvious to you that you have made a decision, that you're not repeating the same thing, that you're not doing the same thing, that you're not doing the same mistakes, that you're not repeating the same failures that lead to the same outcome. So if I know that there is a habit in my own entrepreneurial daily life, if there is a behavior, if there is a thought, if there is a specific emotion or feeling, that means I need to make decision that I am going to remove it. I am going to break them. I am going to replace them. And when I make decision, that's it. I am no longer doing the same. I am no longer repeating that particular habit. I am no longer repeating that behavior. I am not repeating the same thought, the same feeling, the same emotion. And most times we feel frustrated, overwhelmed, negative, and we blame people, we blame our environment, we criticize people that we got involved with before, is because we haven't made decision. So we keep doing the same. We keep building the same patterns. We keep repeating the same patterns. So that way, whenever something happens, we start to react again. We start to become much more reactive than being proactive. So we react on people that made us angry. We react on incidents. We repeat same thoughts, same feelings, same emotions, and we waste so much time, so much energy from our life. But once I make decision to be peaceful, once I make decision to make peace in my life. Once I make decision that I am no longer being or thinking or feeling angry about people that I got involved with before, or incidents that happened in the past before. Once I make decision that I am no longer eating that food, that meal that is not good for my health, that is impacting my health, that's it. I removed it. I replaced it. That's it. I break that habit. So I am going to change the way I eat. I am going to avoid that meal, that particular food that is impacting my healthy life. So when you find yourself feeling happy, grateful, healthy, this is thanks to those decisions that you made. Had you not made decisions on changing those habits, those meals, you would be doing exactly the same, and you would get the same results constantly, over and over and over again. So I learned from my own personal experience that if I don't make decisions, that means my next day would be exactly the same day. My next week will be exactly the same week. My life in general will be exactly the same life. I would be keep repeating the same year. But if I make decisions, that means I am going to experience different life. I'm going to experience different days. So decisions are incredible. They are powerful. They put us on the right track. Decisions, they remind us of who we should be, who we are supposed to be, and who we are going to be. Especially as entrepreneurs, once we make decisions in our business, in our performance, in our productivity, in our habits, in our routines, we would notice so much growth in our businesses. We would notice so much improvement in our business life. We would see so much achievements, wins, accomplishments in our entrepreneurial life thanks to those decisions. So make a decision. If you feel like there's a habit or behavior or a routine that is impacting you, that always seems like lead you to feel stressed, frustrated, overwhelmed, make a decision that I am going to break that habit, that I am no longer repeating that habit, because I know that habit is harmful for my entrepreneurial life, because I know that habit is wasting so much time, so much energy from my daily life, because I know that particular habit, that particular behavior is just leading me to feel frustrated, stressed, overwhelmed, and negative about my life. So I make decision, and once I make decision, that particular habit, that particular behavior will disappear. It will fade away. It will no longer exist in your daily entrepreneurial life. So this is how powerful decisions are. Because I remember when I was living a terrible, unhealthy, negative, depressed life, and once I made the decision that Muhammad, from today, from now on, and I even wrote on a piece of paper, and I wrote even the date, and I even made a signature that from today, from now on, I am going to transform my life. I am going to change the way I eat, the way I train, the way I take care of my body, my health. I am going to change the way I work, the way I stay productive. I am going to change, transform all my habits, all my routines, all my thoughts, all my feelings, all my emotions, because I noticed that without making decisions, I will end up doing exactly the same, and I will end up living the same life and feeling stagnation in my daily life. I said, why can't I make decisions that will transform my life? So after a year, 2 years, 3 years, now when I look back at my life, I can feel so amazed, incredibly amazed about how those small decisions transformed my life. I remember, and when I look at my old pictures, I would look at my old body shape. I am so overweight. I am so unhealthy. When I look back at those images in my iPhone, my groceries, I noticed that before 2, 3 years ago, I used to buy donuts, cakes, cookies, ice cream, too much sugary stuff. When I look back at those old images in my iPhone, when I used to be my old version. But since I made a decision that I am going to change the way I eat, that I'm going to build a very powerful, healthy system, now I feel so surprised. I feel incredibly amazed. I tell myself, oh my God, this is how much I have transformed my own entrepreneurial daily life. Look what I used to eat. Look what I'm eating now. Look what I used to buy from the grocery store. Look what I'm buying now from the grocery store. Look what I used to consume. I used to waste so much money, time, energy on unhealthy meals, unhealthy products, sugary, sweet products. Look how much I have transformed nowadays. Some of those cookies, they have disappeared for years. Some of those cakes or ice cream, they have disappeared from my life for years. Haven't seen them, haven't consumed them for a long time ago. But this wouldn't happen had I not made those decisions, because I was sick and tired of my life, of just consuming, eating whatever is unhealthy. Pizza, hamburgers, French fries, cookies, cakes, ice creams. They were destroying my life. I was grabbing every sugary stuff from the grocery store or going and visiting coffee shops that has so much sugary, sweet donuts or cakes. I was living a terrible life. I was paying the price very expensive when I used to be my old version. But I made the decision that I am going to remove all of this from my life. I don't want to eat them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to waste any time, any money, any effort of bringing those stuff into my house. Like, I was so stupid. I would go to a simple coffee shop. I would sit there for 1-2 hours, waste my precious, important time, my best asset. I would waste my time sitting in that coffee shop and wasting money, wasting my health on those 1-2 hours. And I would end up feeling so unhealthy. I would end up feeling brain fatigue, like where I was trying to study programming or working on my business. I couldn't focus. I couldn't be productive. I didn't have energy in my body. I was constantly tired, exhausted, low in energy, too much bread, too much unhealthy cookies, muffins, donuts. They were harming my health. They were impacting my healthy life. They were destroying my productivity, my focus. I couldn't finish any work. They were even impacting me at the gym. I went to the gym. I couldn't complete a workout. It was taking me over 1 hour just to complete one single workout or one single training because of those unhealthy products, sugary, sweety products. But thank God, nowadays I go to the gym, I complete a whole workout, a whole training in just 30 minutes. I train fast. I don't rest too much. I'm training fast. I'm feeling lighter, healthier. So I get to finish my workout. I do like 150 push-ups in just 10-15 minutes. But before, when I used to be my old version, before making a decision, it used to take me at least 1 hour to complete those push-ups. And I was barely dragging myself, low energy. I felt like a vampire. I was so tired, so exhausted at the gym, in my life, at work, in my studies. But once I made decision, once I read about how harmful those products are, once I read books, articles about those products, about how much they are impacting our healthy life, I made the decision that I will never bring any muffins, any donuts, any pizza, any hamburger, any bread to my house from the grocery store. I am no longer bringing those sugary, those unhealthy products, unhealthy foods into my house. My house is free not only from distractions, but my house is free from all those unhealthy products. And thank God, I've been feeling so happy, so healthy, so energetic, so activated in my body. I even look younger when I look at the mirror. Compared to my old images, when I view my old images in my iPhone, I would notice how fat I was, how overweight I was, how unhealthy I was. I look at my face, it didn't look good. I look older when I look at my old images. So this is how one decision transformed my healthy life, my eating system. So do you see how powerful making one decision is? One decision leads to a different outcome. One big decision leads to a different lifestyle. One big decision leads to many good, healthy, positive habits. One decision leads to so much progress, so much enhancement, so much improvement in life. One big decision affects other areas in your life. When you make a decision that you're going to eat healthy, you notice that you feel healthy when you work. You feel healthy at the gym or when you do your training or your workout. You feel healthy when you spend time with your family. You feel healthy when you go out and do volunteer work for others. You feel healthy when you travel. You feel healthy when you visit friends and when you meet other people. You constantly feel happy, healthy, lighter, faster in your body thanks to one decision. Had you not made that decision, you would have lived a different life. So this is how powerful decisions are. And I remember when I used to work at my old job, working at elementary Swedish local school, and I was feeling so negative, angry, anxious. I would complain all the time. I would blame all the time. I would look at everything at work negatively. I would show up to other teachers, to the kids, feeling angry, frustrated, negative. I would come back home negative. I would go to the school negative. And even people around me, when I was working with them, they didn't enjoy so much being with me in the beginning. They didn't enjoy working with me. I would look tired, exhausted, low in energy, depressed, negative. So people didn't enjoy working with me. People noticed that I feel stuck in my life. So I remember I even had an argument with some other employees, with my old boss, because of going late to work or not doing my work as I was supposed to be doing. Because I was unhealthy, because I was so negative, because I felt stuck, stagnant in my own life. But after that argument with my boss, and I had to quit my job later on, so I made decision that I am no longer going to be this person, that I am no longer going to work like a slave for others, that I am no longer going to work for others from 9 to 5 jobs. No, I made the decision, and just like Michael Jordan, I am no longer going back to work for others. I don't want to be in other people's schedule or shadow. I don't want to serve other companies. I don't want to serve someone else's dreams. I don't want to have a boss. I don't want any supervisor or anyone who's constantly watching me or doing interviews with me every time something went wrong. I got sick and tired of that life of working for others. They have control over you. They steer you. They tell you what to do, what not to do. You should do this, you should not do this. Even sometimes when you feel like you're right, when you feel like something is unfair, and this is what I experienced in my old job at the school, they force you, they tell you, or they order you to do things that you feel like they're unfair, that you feel like they're wrong. So I was sick and tired. I didn't enjoy working. I didn't enjoy my time. I wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't feeling healthy. So I made the decision. I remember I used to complain to a friend from Africa, and I used to talk to him about my work, about not enjoying my health, all that. And I told him I am going to make a decision that I am going to quit my job and start my own business. I want to be a successful entrepreneur. Thank God I made that decision 2-3 years ago. That decision made a drastic change in my life. Since I made the decision at that work, at that school, and I had to quit my job, I've been feeling so happy, so healthy, so lighter, so positive, so optimistic, so hopeful in my own entrepreneurial life. I'm energized, I'm active, I'm happy, I'm very lighter in everywhere in my life. I'm so happy. I made the decision that I am going to quit my job, that I am no longer working for others like a slave. I don't want to be in other people's schedule or shadow. I don't want to have a boss. I don't want to have someone who's in charge of me and giving me orders like military or army. I don't want to have a supervisor that is watching me all the time. It felt disgusting. It felt like I was in a prison or in a jail, that I didn't have my joy. I didn't have my happy life. I didn't enjoy my life. Every time I came home feeling negative and thinking negative. But since I made that decision, thank God, now when I look back at that day, at that decision, and I had wrote it on a piece of paper, I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed that I made that decision. That decision changed and transformed my entrepreneurial life. Had I not made that decision, I would have been stuck feeling the same way, thinking the same way, living the same way, and not seeing any change, any results, any progress, any momentum, any outcome, any transformation in my life. So I promise you, sometimes one big decision can transform whole your life. So many people, they underestimate how decisions powerful they are, because some people, they don't give so much value to decisions. Some people, they tell themselves, oh, what if I make a decision? Like, what is going to happen? I don't think I will see a different life or experience a different life. No, that is wrong. Decision will change the way you think, the way you work, the way you feel, the way you look at your life. Decision will make a big change, transformation in your own entrepreneurial life. Decisions put you in the right direction or lead you to become the person that you're going to be, that you're supposed to be. And you are most qualified to help someone else who you used to be. So when you make a decision, that's it. You signed a big contract with yourself that you are no longer going back to your old self, to your old version. That you're going to be a totally different version of yourself. That you're going to be a new version of yourself. So I remember I made another decision when I used to be my old version, and when I was living unhealthy, negative, and I was living a miserable life. I made the decision that I am going to transform my life, that I am going to dedicate my life to be in service. So I removed the TV. I removed so many distractions. I removed mobile device from my workplace. I removed some of those events, some of those activities like playing hockey or going to hockey games or playing floorball with some people or going to meet up with friends, with people that I didn't enjoy. I didn't feel happy, healthy, productive being with them or spending time with them. I made the decision that I am going to replace, that I am going to remove all of this. So I started with the hockey. I learned how to play hockey from YouTube, watching other trainers, and I went and I practiced inside arena and I learned how to play hockey. But I tell you what, that hockey game, that hockey activity, it was consuming too much of my time in my life. I was spending 3-4 hours every week, every weekend playing hockey game, and whenever I came back home, I was so tired, so exhausted, drained from energy. I was feeling depleted. I felt mentally fatigued. I put so much time, so much energy, so much effort on that hockey activity. And I couldn't focus on my life. I couldn't focus on my studies. I couldn't start a business. I couldn't focus on my healthy life. I was eating unhealthy. I couldn't work on big goals. I couldn't live a happy, healthy, successful life. That hockey event or activity was consuming too much time, too much energy, too much effort from my life. So I couldn't live a happy, healthy, successful life because that hockey activity was a big distraction in my life. And every time I came back home, I could not cook a food or prepare a meal. I couldn't study. I couldn't do any work. I couldn't even do household things like washing dishes or cleaning my home or spending time with friends. I couldn't. That hockey activity was consuming too much time, too much effort, too much energy of my life. But then I noticed that, okay, this hockey activity is not improving my life. It's just distraction. It's taking so much time, so much energy, so much effort from my life that I could use those sources on building a successful business, that I could use those sources on something meaningful, something purposeful. So I made decision. I picked up all my hockey equipments. I had to hide them, put them in a bag, and I had to hide them inside my closet so I don't see them, so they are not visible to me. And they kept being stuck in that closet for years. I did not go play hockey. I didn't even go to any hockey game because they were taking many hours. They were consuming so much energy, so much time, so much effort from my life, and they weren't serving me. They weren't making me feel happy, healthy, productive. So I had to shut down. But I made a decision that I will no longer play hockey. I will no longer distract myself. I will no longer waste any minute, any hour, any day on playing hockey game or attending a hockey game. So I made a decision that I am going to replace that event, that activity, with doing a volunteering work. So I registered in a gymnastics club, sport club. So I started to help those young kids, those young girls with their gymnastic training. And I've been feeling so happy, so grateful, so blissful to make that decision That decision transformed my life. Why? Because every time I go and do a volunteering work every weekend, every time I go and help those kids, help those young girls training their gymnastics, I feel so happy. I feel so joyful. I come back home feeling so driven, so excited, so blissful, because I put myself in a service. I replaced that hockey activity, that hockey game event, with something meaningful, with something purposeful, with an activity that brings me so much joy, so much happy, so much positive thoughts, feelings, emotions into my life. And this affects my business. It has a very positive effect on my business, on my work, on how I feel. Every time I come back home, I feel happy. I feel proud of myself. My self-esteem increases whenever I go and help those kids. And it takes only 1 hour. It takes only 1 hour to help those kids with their dreams of winning in their gymnastics sport. Instead of wasting my time on a hockey game or playing hockey, I replaced that habit with something meaningful, with a purposeful activity. And that decision transformed my life. So whenever I meet those people who run that gymnastics club, I tell them, I'm so happy, so grateful that I made the decision to register at your club as a leader and help your kids. I am so happy. I'm so blissful. I wish I would have made this decision like years ago, like much earlier, because I was taking the wrong direction. I was wasting time on unnecessary, not meaningful, not purposeful activities. I replaced it with a meaningful, with a purposeful activity. I had to shut down a floorball activity as well. That floorball activity was taking 2 hours of my time, and going to that city, it was taking me at least 2 more hours going with the chain. So I made the decision that I am no longer going to that activity or to that floorball event. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me very healthy. Every time I go there, I play a lot, and it's a very high intensity sport, and I come back home. I am drained. I am tired. I am depleted. I can't even move my body. My muscles are spasmed. I can't work. I even can't sleep well when I'm so tired, so depleted, so exhausted. Another activity that I had to remove and break was, there was a gym, a local gym, and that local gym offers high intensity training or CrossFit workout. And that workout or that training is very high intensity. It will lead you to feel so exhausted, so tired, so depleted, so drained. So I had to stop going there. I had to break this habit, because I had this bad habit of every time it was a time to go to that training or that local gym, I would postpone my work. I would not complete my work. I would just distract myself. I would tell myself, I'll do this work later. And I would bike to that gym, and I would come back home. I can barely move my body. I can barely cook a meal. I can barely take a shower. And that family were distracting me. So I made the decision that I told that family, I'm sorry, I can't come to your gym anymore. I don't want any membership at your local gym. And I explained to them so I don't seem rude or someone who's mean. I explained to them. I told them, I apologized to them. I'm sorry. I love your gym. I love your training. I know it's very effective training, but I'm sorry. Your training, your gym is distracting me. is impacting my healthy life, is impacting my performance, is impacting my productivity. Because every time I go there and I do that CrossFit training, that high intensity workout, I come back home. I can't do nothing. I'm just laying down on a couch and I can't move my body. I can't move my feet. I can't move my arms. I can't do anything at home. I'm so tired, so depleted. It affects my healthy life. I can't even eat. I don't even feel hungry. So I apologized to them. I told them, I'm sorry, I can't come. I can't register a membership. And because I felt like that was a distraction. That activity, that gym was taking so much time, so much energy, so much effort from my day. But I feel so grateful, so happy that I made the decision last year during the winter that I am no longer going there. Because my health matters. My productivity matters. Those tasks, those high impactful projects in my business, they matter. They're very important. I can't replace my work. I can't replace my productivity. I can't replace my focus. I can't replace my goals, my dreams with that CrossFit training. I can't replace them with that hockey game or event. I can't replace them with that hockey activity. I can't replace them with hanging out with some people. They're unhealthy. They don't have good, healthy, positive habits, routines. I can't. My goals, my dreams are number one. My health is number one. My productivity, my focus, my work, my business is number one. My family is number one. And I made the decision that I will no longer let anybody, any activity, any event, any place will steal my focus, steal my dreams, steal my productivity, steal my energy. I got sick and tired of that life. Doing sport activities, high intensity sport activities are not healthy. I notice that they're impacting my productivity, they're impacting my focus, they're impacting my business, they're impacting my entrepreneurial life generally. I mean, some people, they do high intensity workout training, mountain biking or marathon. They do it because they have very good life. They have a very high quality life. Some of those people, for example, that family who runs that local gym, they're very rich people. They are very wealthy people. So they can do it. They can train how long they want. They can train whenever they want. They can train wherever they want. But not me. I'm not like them. I have goals. I have dreams. I have business. I have work to do. I have a family to support. So I can't waste my time, waste my energy, waste my effort on places, on events, on activities with people that are not serving me, that are not helping me become the person that I always wish to be. I made a decision. I took responsibility of my own entrepreneurial life. So do the same. Make a decision. Make a big, giant decision that you are no longer going to let distractions, people, events, activities, unhealthy, chunky, fast food, or sugary, sweet products impact your life, impact your health, impact your productivity, impact your focus. You need to learn to protect myself. You need to make decisions. Make a decision, because you are one decision away from a big goal. You are one decision away from a big dream. You are one decision away from building that dream life for you and for your family. You are one decision away to transform your health, to transform your fitness life, to transform your business life. You are only one decision away. I promise you, if you make that important, that big decision, you will see a different life. You will experience a different life. And you'll be so happy, so thankful for making those decisions. Because if you don't make decisions, your life will not change. You will live the same life. You will think the same way. You will have the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same emotions. So I made the decision that I am no longer going to talk behind people. No gossip in my life. I will not feel angry about others. I will not talk negatively about others because it's just bringing me so much misery, so much negativity into my life. I made the decision that I am no longer attached or connected to my past. I made the decision that I am going to be laser focused on my health, on my performance, on my focus, on my productivity, on my business, on my goals, and on my dreams. And that decision made a drastic change in my life because I noticed that I am different. I'm thinking differently. I'm feeling differently. I'm experiencing a different life. Not the life that I don't like, but the life that I embrace, the life that I love, the life that I always dreamed to live. I'm so happy. I'm so healthy. I'm so productive nowadays. I'm so laser concentrated, laser focused thanks to those decisions that I made. Those decisions transformed the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I move, the way I think, the way I feel. So you don't know how powerful decisions are. But until you make decisions and you would see the results of those decisions, then you will look back at your life. You would tell yourself, thank God I made those decisions. How powerful those decisions are. You're changing. You're changing your habits. You're changing your behaviors when you make decisions. But if you don't make decisions, you will repeat the same old negative, unhealthy habits, behaviors, routines, and you will experience the same life that you don't like, getting things that you don't want, living a life that you don't enjoy. So make a decision. Once you make decision, that's it. You are signing a contract with your future, that you are building a better life for yourself, for your family. If you have goals, dreams, you need to make decisions because those goals, those dreams, they need your decisions. And once you make a decision, you need to stay honest, you need to remain consistent with your decisions. Don't make a decision and then do exactly the same. No. That's called decision fatigue. Once you make decisions, once you write down on a paper the date, the decision that you made, that's it. You are no longer repeating the same things, that you are no longer doing the same things. So you will build a better life for you and for your family thanks to those decisions. Okay, that's it. That's what I got for you in this episode. I hope you enjoyed or learned about how powerful decisions are and that you're going to start making big decisions that will transform your entrepreneurial life. So please don't forget to follow me on iTunes or Spotify so you can get a new episode that is full of insights, strategies, practical tips, steps that will help you transform your entrepreneurial life. And don't forget to visit down below in the description area those links. I have a link for my main social media platform on Instagram. There you will get a new content, a new reel every day. And I am sharing so many insights, so many tips. I'm sharing so many mistakes, past failures that I made from my own personal experience so you can avoid making the same. And don't forget to download your free guide. I made a free guide for you so you can start building better habits, breaking old negative bad habits that aren't serving you, that are not aligned with your goals, with your dreams, with your ambitions, and you can reclaim your healthy life. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I can't wait to publish a new episode. Bye everyone. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.